This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to the Pit Stop, where you are the real star of today's show, because today's show is all about sim racing news for Monday, November 27th, and you are the real star of the show, because it's really about talking about what's going on in sim racing Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we are here. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, and let's go ahead and just get right into, because we do have quite a bit to talk about today. Sim racing news. GT Sport, I think this is probably one of the biggest sport stories we're going to find today. GT Sport is currently doing their updates, so you probably, if you're trying to play this morning, you were already locked out. You got 3 new cars that have been added. They've been doing updates to the physics, campaign mode, livery editor, museum, race screen, soundscape, sports mode lobby. Everything, every aspect of the game seems to have gotten some form of attention from the guys at Polyphony. So, if you kind of were playing it a lot and you kind of stopped playing, maybe you got over that rush, probably a good time to get back in and do a little more GT Sport. They also gave a teaser photo. Oh, come on, photo, come up. Bear with me. My webpage stopped. Oh, this is killing me. What is going on here? Refresh. Oh, I almost need to trick this thing. Anyway, I need to get this photo. This is killing me. But they released a teaser of the cars that are coming in their December pack that they're teasing right now. And they say that's going to be free. And looking, I can't even read the names. They're so, wait, refresh. Oh, it's killing me. What's going on? Something's wrong with my Gran Turismo page. Stop it. Refresh. Oh, it's still not doing it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here are the cars. Sorry about that. Anyway, one reason I'm excited is because in my review of GT Sport, I kind of hit them for not even having a single RX-7. But they are adding, so we got the RX-7, a Skyline, 2 versions, so now we're getting back to that multiple versions of the same car. The Raptor, I don't really care about that. Countach, Lamborghini Countach, Ferrari F40, Enzo, KTM Crossbow, Suzuki Swift, a Volkswagen Samba bus type. That looks like it's the 60s bus, if I'm not mistaken. Chevy Nova customized, and a convertible Corvette. So, very cool cars being added, and like they said, they are free. In addition to that, today's update 1.06, which is a pretty monster, huge update to the game, or sim, whatever you want to call it. Moving on to iRacing. Today is their Cyber Monday and Tuesday sale, and I think members of iRacing will be very happy, because most of their sales, most of their things end up being more for new members, but this is a buy credits. Get 100 credits for $75, so basically you're getting a bonus of 25 credits. And they have this code, all this at their Twitter feed, by the way. Use code PR17 Cyber 1127, so that's today's date. PR, like PR code, 17 Cyber 1127. So if you want to get some new credits for iRacing, today is the day to take care of that as well. And so that, hey, I know, it's exciting, Max. It's totally exciting. Next up, Project Cars 2. I'm just mentioning it. They had that big event, went on. You can go to their Twitter feed, find out more about it. As, again, I'm just going to keep saying this because I want you guys to remember when it happens that I was the one who's been saying it over and over again. But 2018 is the year for esports, and one of our stories today touches upon that as well, in addition to Project Cars and their esport stuff going on there. So that's good stuff coming out of them. And again, they're one of those companies right now, from my perspective, sitting in this chair, trying to grow sim racing, trying to grow our hobby and make it bigger. I am looking to the companies that make the biggest impact in the world and get their name out there to the general public. The people who are out there are like, I didn't realize you could do that at home. Those are the companies that are going to create new sim racers. And if you've been around sim racing for 10, 20 years like I have, you have seen how much better the competition has gotten. And it's really on an accelerated curve right now. And when you thought you were good, maybe not anymore. Maybe the new breed of drivers are playing at a completely different level. So, Project Cars is one of the ones really making a name, getting their name in the public. People who've never seen sim racing before, getting interested in it, and getting into our great sport or hobby. And somebody asked why you need credits. That's how you can buy content, the cars and tracks. Within, I think Michael asked about subscriptions, and I don't know if it works for the actual membership dues. I don't know the answer to that question. Next up, Codemasters. The reason I'm mentioning this is at the Codemasters Twitter feed. Red Bull Games is actually who did it, but I found it at the Codemasters feed. But Red Bull Games is asking for you to vote on your favorite game in 2017, favorite driving game. So I think it would be important that we, the people of sim racing, get our opinions in and not make it some general public opinion poll, but get some of us real sim racers over there to actually vote on that and, you know, maybe get a proper game into the winning category at Red Bull Games. So hopefully you'll tell a friend about that. Go to the Codemasters Twitter feed. Go to Red Bull Games at Red Bull Games Twitter feed. Either of those will take care of it. But get your votes in there. Let's make an impact in this and, you know, let it be known. Next topic actually is brought to me by Fabs, one of our viewers, and I also see it here on the Codemasters feed, but that's Grid. So Grid is coming to the iOS. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you're going to be able to play this. They're claiming console quality of driving experience on a tablet, which is quite a thing to claim. So I don't know. I actually am not an Apple guy, so I don't have an iPhone. Maybe one of you guys will try it out. Get back to me. Let me know how it worked. Were you playing with Tilt Play? Did they have controls on the screen? 100 cars, 100 tracks, and I would definitely check this out just to know. So please let me know if you check that out. Next up, and this is just something if you're going to be up in the Indy area, but Johnny and Lonnie Unzer are going to be in the booth with Ricmotech, and they're going to be at PRI. So they're going to be working with Tritech and Racecraft, and they're going to be at booth 3327. So, PRI, I believe that's Performance Racing Industries, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that is the point of the PRI show. And if you're going to be in that area, you might want to check it out. And if you're going to that show, definitely go over and say hi to Frank at Ricmotech and get to meet Johnny and Lonnie Unzer and try out some cool sim racing gear at that booth. So, definitely want to do that. Next up, Rize Studios. So their 1.49, we teased it. It is out. It includes this car, and I haven't driven it, the Metal Maro AJR prototype. That's a beautiful looking car. Don't know what it drives like, but there are a lot of updates, and this is getting towards the end of the tour of the whole Reiza Automobilista, at least version 1 of Automobilista. I don't know what their next venture is going to be just yet. But they are definitely, they've been on the move, and they did very well on our pizza poll, which I'll get to my apologies in a moment. So, beyond that, moving on to just some Cyber Monday deals. One of you out there, let me know about this. This link is over at IGN. But just showing you, you know, we still, even though Black Friday is over, from Black Friday we go into, some companies are 1 and 2 week long sales for Black Friday. And then we move into Cyber Monday, which is supposed to be the big online special day. So even beyond these things, if you are looking for gear or games, keep up the search, because today is another big sale day. And honestly, everything between now and Christmas is every wordplay they can think of to have another sale in order to get you to buy more stuff, essentially. So, last piece of news before I move into just personal stuff for the show. SimRacing System, you know them well because we run our Assetto Corsa League, the Battle of the Beamers this season, and the Historic Ferraris last season. But they just opened up with some R-Factor racing, and they have this going on in the daily racing. And right now, if you look through this list, you can see R-Factor. Almost every other series is R-Factor. And that means that if you have been playing R-Factor and have had a hard time finding a good matchmaking service, you can see almost every type of series is running, all of them running on the daily schedule right now. But I highly recommend, I haven't gone over and done this yet just due to time, something I'm going to be doing. Maybe I'll give you a little more information tomorrow if I can find out more, and maybe do some of the daily races. I have a pretty busy day planned, but maybe I can get back to you on that tomorrow or Wednesday. But SimRacing Systems is awesome, because one of the problems I've always had with online racing outside of iRacing is finding a good league-type environment without necessarily needing to be involved in one league. It's a little more open-ended than that. So check out SimRacingSystem.com for R Factor 2 or Assetto Corsa, and congratulations to them for getting R Factor 2 up and running. That's great news. So, and speaking of R Factor 2, later today, something special going on. This will be probably in about 3 or 4 hours. I'll get a notice up as soon as I have a confirmation of the timing, but I got an invitation from the guys over at R Factor 2 Studio 397 ISI in regards to the Formula E. And they're going to be doing a shakedown test today with me and some other media types and known sim racers. And I'm going to stream what goes on. We'll play it, we'll get dialed in, and we will see what the new Formula E car from Studio 397 is all about. And this is something I'm definitely looking forward to. Formula E is something I've questioned it at times in terms of in real life and my love for electric cars in racing, or when I did the indoor karting with those electric carts versus petrol. But I want to try it, I want to see it, and this is something, another area where R Factor 2 I've been talking about ever since Studio 397 joined the team. They have been on a really high accelerated curve of coming out with their own content, and when you look at it getting pushed from their end and being so open to the modding world as well, it definitely is something that we're going to be talking more and more about in the near future, that's for sure. Next up, let's talk about Mitchie. So I mentioned Mitchie Hoyer of Avid Chronic Racing is going to be doing videos, and he's a new member of the team, and he has been doing some videos. So just yesterday, he did an R Factor setup guide, and you know, I did some beginner stuff on setup, and sometimes I work on my setup and show you guys, but I am not a setup engineer, and I am not an alien level driver. And when you think of Mitchie Hoyer, this guy's a robot. That was the word people are using. He's the Terminator. He is a race engineer, and watching him drive and getting tips from him on setup is very, very valuable. So you might want to look for the streams. You're going to see more and more of them. I think he's done 2 already, but if you search our videos, you're going to see videos by Mitchie, and they are definitely worth watching. They are definitely tailored for R Factor 2. So, but a lot of the setup information is going to carry over from any type of sim racing. Next up, Saturday, we did the Drinkin Sim Drive show. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it. I've had a lot of people asking me how yesterday went, because I had a rough Saturday night if you watched that show. If you haven't, go watch it. And I'm going to put a disclaimer now, because somebody did in the chat kind of call out and say that it was pretty socially irresponsible for me to do that show. And I'm not going to get into an argument, because I have to be honest, that thought crossed my mind before I even did the show. And I thought I disclaimed it pretty well in the description, saying that, number one, in real life, drinking and driving is not only dangerous, but it's illegal. So I thought I was pretty clear about that. And beyond that, I am sim racing, not driving a car. We can call it a play on words, but I don't think of it as any more than if I were drinking and playing a shooter game, advocating shooting people. But I have to be aware of the sensitivity of that topic. So, it's not even an apology. I'm just, once again, disclaiming the fact that I don't take drinking and driving lightly. In fact, I don't drink very often, as you can probably see from how smashed I got in that video. And I certainly never have and never would ever drink and drive or advocate it by anybody. It's a terrible, terrible thing to do. I honestly don't even think of alcohol as being safe at home. Or, you know, that's kind of, but on the other hand, I thought it was very interesting to see what the fall off would be. And muscle memory in racing is so much different than random driving on city streets with lights and other cars and civilians and all that kind of stuff. And I know most tracks like the back of my hand, and you could even close your eyes and take you through it and, you know, probably not be that far off. And I think that's what was doing most of the job. But it was a fun show. If you didn't check it out, check it out. If you think it was horrible and socially irresponsible of me, you know, let me know. Maybe I'll stay away from certain things like that. I thought it was fun to push the limits just a little bit, and I did have a good time doing it. And just to let you guys know the full story, at the end, when I fell off, it was over. When John Hill called an end to that show, it was time to go. 10 minutes later, I did actually throw up. I'm sorry to disgust you with such a thought. And then I spent the rest of the night, I don't even want to tell you, it's so embarrassing, but what the hell, you guys are the pit crew. I actually laid down in the shower and turned the hot water on and just sat in the shower for a couple of hours trying to sober up before I went to sleep, drinking lots of water, taking aspirin. And when I woke up on Sunday morning, I had no headache, but I was a little bit dizzy, and I was starving, and I was exhausted. So yesterday, instead of getting the Sim Pizza show done like I had promised, I ended up sleeping and eating all day long, and it put me even further behind schedule. So I apologize for that, but I will work on that today. So a few more things, and I'm going to bring today's show to a close. Number one, I want to thank Greg, RGR Motorsports. He's running an iRacing practice server in the evenings, I think 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, he is just got that out there. So if you're into iRacing and you want to drive with the pit crew, he's usually running like GT3 cars. So get in there. Run with the other guys from the pit crew. Be part of that. I already mentioned the Sim Pizza. I'm running behind on that. TGT I've been talking about. Running behind on that, but I will work on it. Today, we do have two things going on. Number one, I just mentioned the R Factor 2 Formula E coming up probably in the next 3 hours, I believe. And that will be fun. We'll get to do that live. We'll show the car, we'll show the driving angles, and you'll get a good look at it, and I'll talk about it and be able to race with some really talented drivers, actually. And beyond that, I have something else going on live today, and I don't know what time. I'm waiting on the green light. All I'm going to say is it is going to be fun, and it involves one of my favorite sims. I'm going to leave it at that. That will be going on today. As soon as I have word, I will post something on Facebook, let you know when I'm going to go live with that. But we do have 2 live streams coming today. Both of them are newly seen content, things you've never seen, certainly not seen from me, and not only will you see it, but you'll get to hear my thoughts on it. It won't just be teaser video stuff. So today should be a very, very good day for me, good day for the pit crew, and good day for the Sim Pit. So that is it for today's news. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your opinions on everything. It's great doing these shows with you. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for another pit stop with tomorrow's sim racing news. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.